With over 2,000 manufacturers and 13,000 brands, New York City is being recognized as a leader in the next industrial revolution. Join us as we meet with some of New York's rising stars and industry leaders. From CFDA President Stephen Kolb.
New York is considered one of the 4 global fashion capitals. It has a significant footprint in fashion.
To New York City's Deputy Mayor, Alicia Glenn.
I think the future of manufacturing in New York is not necessarily large-scale production. What we have to offer is really unique access to markets.
Surrounded by thousands of manufacturers, media, and retail opportunities, New York ranks as one of the top 3 cities to start a business. And I'm your guide, Matthew Burnett, CEO of Makers Row, and this is Makers Row, New York City. I'm sitting here with the co-founder and designer of WHIT NY, Whitney Posgay. First, I want to just talk about where we are. We're in your apartment.
Yes, our office is attached to our apartment. That's true. It's a new space for us.
That's so cool. One of the cool themes that I've seen in food, in news, and now in apparel is that people are looking for more domestic brands and more locally made brands. You actually manufacture the vast majority of your products here in the New York area. Can you tell me a little bit about that supply chain decision?
When we started making our goods in New York, it was really about knowing the process. And I think when you start making your brand, you're starting it from scratch. It's your baby. You're making each garment with a lot of love and being able to do that hands-on throughout the development process in the factory with the people that are sewing. You know, I just really loved that transparency. Also, when we were starting the company, like I knew who was sewing the garments, I knew where they were, I knew what the conditions were. I could come in and have a direct conversation with the person sewing a garment, say like, oh, I would like those seams to be more like this. Can we make them a little thicker? Can we, skive these edges down? Being able to have that communication in person, I think, especially when developing a brand, is so important, and was really important for me to kind of understand what was going to be the most successful for us and have that conversation almost in a live manner rather than like tech pack, sample, ship back, conversation, email. just like a much more disconnected process. And I wanted to be really hands-on with it.
So it's always great. You're here in New York. You have all the major publications that are at your disposal here. It's kind of the ecosystem that's around you. Are there any organizations that have been really helpful to you in helping your company grow?
Well, we were lucky enough to be in one of the CFDA incubator programs, which was our first, I feel like it was like our first big stepping stone to growing our brand. It was a really amazing mentorship program.
What is it like to start your business here in New York, and what is it like? Do you feel like you're in competition with other brands? What's the community like?
I think when I first started the brand, I think all of us were, you're a young brand and there's only so much space in the market, and you're trying to find your spot and your voice and like how you stand out from everybody. But as we've been through this process longer and like know more designers, and we have I feel like there's an amazing community here, and being able to lean on that community, whether it's like through organizations like the CFDA or just through friends of ours that are designers over the years, it's actually like a much more inclusive, friendly community than I think it's painted as.
So most family trees have 1 or 2 creatives in there. When you were coming to New York and starting your fashion brand, was there anyone in particular that helped influence you?
Well, my grandmother was really into fashion. I feel like that kind of floated down through my mother's side of the family, including, I do have an aunt that was a designer here in New York, Kate Spade, and she's my mother's sister. And when I was younger, I would come visit them as they were starting their company, and seeing that grow and all the different facets of creativity that goes into building a brand became a big point of interest for me. You're not just making clothes, you're doing photo shoots, you're doing brand outreach or cross-marketing in ways that you are continually evolving, and I did learn that a lot from her, and I'm excited to kind of pull that through with WHIT.
So Whitney, as a fashion designer here in New York, I know you're always on the go. I really appreciate the time that you've put in to give us some gems.
Well, thank you for asking me. This has been fun. you.